Friends, if you've ever fallen in love with a lamp, but not its price tag, then this episode, boop, is for you. Welcome back to Laugh Cry DIY. I am your host, Katie, and today I am so excited because we are going to combine all of my favorite things: antiquing, thrifting, DIYing in a kind of renter-friendly way, to create a beautiful lamp inspired by the very popular, very it girl lamp of the season, which is the Anthropologie Eloise Scallop Milk Glass table lamp. It comes in a bunch of different colors. It's very Art Deco. It's kind of a little Art Nouveau. It comes in a sconce version as well as a table lamp version, and it is so beautiful. It is also $198. But I am a cheap girl, so imagine my thrill, shock, and surprise when I went thrifting and I found an actual antique Art Deco glass lampshade for, I don't even want to tell you, you're gonna be mad, $1. So as soon as I saw her, I knew exactly what she needed to be, which is a cute little table lamp in the style of the Anthropologie Eloise lamp. Now, before we go on, I want to say that even though I scored this for $1, you guys can also score these for pretty cheap, like under $40. If you go on eBay, there's a few keywords I would use: Art Deco, skyscraper, globe, drum, pendant, glass lampshade. You'd be shocked to find how many orphaned ones there are, especially if they don't have any hardware, because they're kind of just sitting around doing nothing for people. But back to this beauty. Let me tell you little things about why this is Art Deco. Number one, she has this beautiful ribbing. The kind of geometric shape of this is very Art Deco. Another telltale sign for glass made in that era is a really, really thick seam on the side. I don't know if you can see, she has one right down the side. And that is because the molds at the time and the glass manufacturing processes weren't always so sophisticated. So they kind of clamped the glass together and you would sometimes get that ridge that was really kind of thick and noticeable. Another thing that is really beautiful and special about her is that she has this rainbow iridescence. And therefore, we absolutely love her. So today, we're gonna kind of transform her with a little simple, basic pillar candle stand. I also thrifted this in a previous thrifting video. And we're gonna zhuzh her up a little bit with good old oven baked polymer clay. So we're gonna start with our little clay add-on designs. And I will say, guys, I was actually really struggling with what type of design to put on this. I tried a bunch of different ones and I kind of was giving up, and then I slept on it, I came back to it. So if you guys are ever just hitting a DIY wall and everything's looking ugly, maybe just sleep on it, you know? But here's what we're gonna do. I decided that I wanted to do this kind of floral petal motif all around the base. So I'm rolling this clay out to about the thickness of a little bit more than a pencil. And I'm gonna chop up like 10 segments because I want 10 little petals. Next, I'm rolling them back into a ball and then a little bit of a cylindrical shape. And then I'm just pressing right in and kind of forming a little bit of a petal shape. And I'm gonna do that with all 10. Okay, so we have all of our little petals. And one thing, I wanted to do these petals right around the base, specifically because there is a little tiny chip there, and I wanted to try to camouflage that if I could. And now I'm just gonna add each of these little petals right to the base. Guys, look how cute it is. Now, I wanted these to all be pretty uniform, but you might have to adjust some just to either reshape them or make sure the length matches a little bit. But really, I just wanted to do a very simple pattern that kind of gave the illusion of sort of those beautiful like petal feet that you see a lot of times on kind of vintage candlesticks or even like Art Nouveau pieces. And although a lot of those candlesticks have a very beautiful ornate design, we're just gonna do something a little simple just to add a little texture and a little fun. And for the record, if I were you, I would look for a cool vintage candlestick to use as the base, but sometimes you gotta work with what you have. And yeah, you might end up remaking actually every single petal, but that's okay. We want her to be beautiful. Also, I am smoothing out any fingerprints that I might have left on when I booped into them. Next up, I'm gonna roll a bunch of tiny little balls. And now we're gonna gently place each little ball at the tip of each petal, almost as though we're creating a little collar or something around the base. You guys see the little texture? And of course, we wanna make sure that all of the little balls and petals are hitting at the same spot all the way around. And yeah, we gotta remake it for the 5th time and the 10th time. All right, there is a point at which I just gotta stop and let it go, but haven't hit that point yet. All right, guys, look, do you see how cute that is? Okay, now that we've done this floral motif, I want to continue it on the top, and I am gonna take the original hardware out because we just don't need to worry about that. By the way, at some point, somebody had painted this like turquoise. And if you ever wanna see if something, especially metallic, is painted, just grab a little bit of nail polish remover. You can usually start to get it off, and then you can tell. Now I took that top off because I want to mirror this sort of floral motif we have going on. And so, just gonna roll another little bit of clay. I'm gonna smush that flat. Because I basically just wanna create a little top kind of medallion cap. The Eloise original lamp has this little rounded cap, and I wanted to mirror something like that. And we wanna make sure we're flat and that we're nice and smooth on the sides. So cute. Okay, so we have a little cap, cute, but I wanna make a little flower that sits right on top of that cap. So we're just gonna do that same thing and roll out some petals. So I'm basically doing them about the same width as the other ones, and we're sort of reshaping them into a little rounded cylinder, and then we're just pressing them down. And now I'm just pinching in those little ends. I'm gonna sort of lie this flat, and I'm gonna create this sort of standing flower shape. It's a little tricky, and then I'm gonna kind of fold up the petals so that they stand up really nicely. And this definitely takes some finessing, but you can see how it's definitely standing up and out, which is what I want. That way it can kind of sit right on top. Do you see? Oh, we're also gonna add a little bit of just a little simple ball, like right in the center, you see? And now I do know there's a hole like right here, so we're gonna pop that through. Smooth her out, oops. And then I think that way this little flower can sit right in the hole. Guys, look how cute she is. All right, I'm still gonna try to like pump up the petals because I do want them standing a little bit higher. This looks like such a cute little cap, you know? You guys see? Okay, we have everything so beautifully shaped. Now I am gonna put these in the oven. It is on 275, which is a lower heat, and I'm gonna watch a ton to make sure nothing is cracking or breaking. You definitely have to be careful with things like that, but I'm gonna check them a ton. And I've put clay pieces around glass before and it's been okay. Now, while those are baking, we're gonna solve the problem of actually making this into a lamp. And to be honest, I'm a lazy girl. I don't wanna be hardwiring. I don't wanna do a whole lamp kit today. So we're gonna do the easy, simple thing of using a wireless rechargeable bulb. So I have an old candle lid. I have an old tiny like miniature glass jar. We're gonna hot glue this right on to the middle. And then we're gonna add my new favorite thing, which is these wireless rechargeable bulbs. They have a little charging port in the back. Ooh, it already turned on. And it's gonna set right in there inside. And look at how many lighting options there are. I don't know if these are all showing on camera. Oh no, it's flickering. It's a ton of different colors. It's a pretty decent lasting time. And the fun hack with these bulbs is if you buy a 2-pack, charge them both, and that way when one dies, you already have a charged one, you can swap them out and just charge the other one. So it's a little more convenient and easy. Also, this is not sponsored, I just really like these. And they come with even little hooks to hang if you wanted to hang it inside of a pendant light or something like that, if you want to put it on a sconce. So all in all, I really love these. And this particular brand, I know you can't see that well on camera, but it has 3 different types of white, like a cool white to a warm white, and then it has all the different colors. So you can really customize it, and it's really, really, really freaking cool. All right, guys, these are baked and cooled. I like to let them cool down in the oven first and then in room temperature, especially if you're doing glass where you want it to be able to kind of temper itself instead of having extreme temperature changes, just FYI. I did also go back and E6000 any of these little pieces that might have popped off in transit. Next step, we are going to paint the bottom and the top, and I'm always like a gold brass girl, so we're gonna do that. But I do want it to look a little bit more aged and antique, so I have a little sneaky hack to do that. First, spraying it all black. This creates a base coat and adds a little shadow to all of those little nooks and crannies. Then you can go back over with gold. And I'm gonna do a very kind of light top coat here so that I don't mask all of the black we just did. And when you do that trick, you end up with a kind of antiqued look that has a little bit more dimension. And now, final touch, we're just gonna add on our little hot glued base. Make sure she's centered. Gonna add our bulb and slide our little top on. And now you are ready for your very beautiful final reveal. Well guys, I have to say that this might be one of my top 5 DIYs of all time on the channel. I love that she is cordless and so I can move her all around the house. I will link those wireless bulbs below. And again, if you wanted to do a little lamp, if you wanted to make them a sconce, those bulbs are really cool. I also want to point out that in the pictures of the Eloise lamp on the Anthropologie website, there is no cord pictured. However, in real life, it has a cord. So if you're ever wondering why your house doesn't look picture perfect like it does in the magazines, it's because they Photoshop homes as much as they Photoshop people. I still love you, Anthropologie. I just wanted to say that out loud. So thank you to the thrifting gods for gifting me this beauty. Thank you to you guys for watching. I hope you found any of this interesting or helpful. If you did, please go ahead and throw me a like. Please subscribe. You can also sign up for my newsletter posted down below. I send out monthly DIY decor inspiration pieces straight to your inbox just for a little fun in this crazy world. And seriously, I do think you should all go on eBay and try to find something cool and vintage like this. And while you guys do that, I'm gonna take this with me everywhere and cuddle it like my child. Okay,